she said. You readjust my safety net until I find someone better, I smiled. Oh, really? And then paid for her party, waited until 70 guests were watching. At the moment, I raised my glass. I gave her the freedom she wanted. What happened next destroyed her entire world. Okay, so this happened, and I am still trying to wrap my head around it. I mean, I thought I knew Madison, but apparently I was living in a complete fantasy. I am Ryan, 29. And this story starts 3 weeks before my girlfriend Madison's 27th birthday party. Her best friend Ashley had been drinking downtown, saw me there with my buddy Jake, and stumbled over to our table. Ryan, she slurred, grabbing my shoulder. You are such a good guy. Too good, honestly. I laughed it off at first. Ashley was clearly wasted. But then she leaned in closer, and what she said next, God, I can still hear it perfectly. You know what Madison calls you when you are not around. She giggled, like it was the funniest thing in the world. Her safety net. Says you are perfect husband material for when she is done exploring her options. My buddy Jake's eyes went wide. I kept my face neutral, bought Ashley a water, and got her an Uber home. But those words, they explained everything. See, Madison and I had been together for 2 years. I had been completely all in, helped her through her career transition, which was really just being unemployed for 6 months, paid for her marketing course, covered rent while she focused on her studies. Meanwhile, she was always texting someone. Always had these networking events that somehow went until 3 a.m. The thing is, I had already been suspicious. Found out through Instagram stories that her study sessions were mostly her going to upscale bars and clubs. Her mentor Connor kept appearing in photos, always with his arm around her waist. But I wanted to believe her explanations. Love makes you stupid like that, right? After Ashley's drunk confession, I did some digging, created a fake Instagram account, started following some of her friends. The picture became crystal clear, and it was ugly. There were posts about keeping your options open, jokes about starter boyfriends versus forever boyfriends. One girl posted a meme that said date them for their wallet, marry them for their potential. Madison had commented with 3 fire emojis. But the real kicker. I found a TikTok her friend posted from a girl's night out. Madison's voice. Clear as day. Ryan's gonna buy me a house someday, but until then, a girl's gotta live her best life, you know? They all laughed. I screen recorded everything. Her 27th birthday was coming up. She had been planning it for months, rented out a whole restaurant's private room, invited over 70 people, made it this huge production. She kept telling me how important it was that I show up for her and make it special. She even gave me a list of acceptable birthday gift options with a minimum budget of $800. I played the perfect boyfriend, helped with decorations, confirmed RSVPs, even paid for the professional photographer she wanted. She had no idea what was coming. But honestly, my hands were shaking as I wrapped that gift. Part of me wondered if I was being too harsh, if maybe I should just talk to her privately first. But then I would remember that TikTok and the anger would come flooding back. The night of the party, I showed up in my best suit, brought a beautifully wrapped gift, a $25 book about finding your authentic self. She didn't know what it was yet. Everyone was there. Her family, friends, coworkers, even Connor with his smug smile. Halfway through dinner, Madison stood up to thank everyone. All emotional, talking about her journey and her amazing support system. When she finished, she looked at me expectantly. Your turn, babe. You always give the best speeches. I stood up, raised my glass, and for a second, I almost chickened out. The room was so warm and everyone looked so happy, but then I caught Connor's eye and remembered why I was doing this. I want to toast to new beginnings, I started. They say the truth will set you free, and tonight feels like the perfect night for freedom. Madison beamed. She thought this was going somewhere completely different. Madison, I continued, voice steady, even though my heart was pounding, you have taught me so much about myself, like how I deserve someone who sees me as their first choice, not their safety net for when they are done exploring other options. The room went dead silent. Madison's smile froze. I know about the safety net comment, about how I am the backup plan while you figure things out with Connor. Your friend Ashley let it slip. Alcohol makes people honest like that, gasps around the room. Ashley, who was there, turned completely white. So tonight, on your special day, I am giving us both the gift of honesty. We are done. This relationship is over. You are free to pursue Connor or whoever else without feeling guilty about your backup plan." Madison's face went from shock to pure rage. "Are you seriously doing this now? At my birthday? You planned this party for 4 months," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "I have known for 3 weeks, seemed like perfect timing to me. Oh, and that marketing course I paid for. The car payments? Consider them parting gifts. But the apartment lease is in my name, so you will need to find somewhere else to live. 30 days should be plenty." Her mom Linda stood up. "This is completely inappropriate. How dare you humiliate her like this?" Humiliation. I pulled out my phone, hands still trembling slightly. Should I play the TikTok where she talks about me buying her a house while she lives her best life? Or show the screenshots where she jokes about starter boyfriends? Dead silence. I placed the wrapped gift on the table. "Happy birthday, Madison. Your gift is inside. It is about living authentically," seemed appropriate. Then I walked out, legs feeling like jelly. My phone started buzzing before I even reached the parking lot, but I didn't check it. Not yet. I had one more stop to make my apartment to change the locks. So Reddit, did I go too far? Or was it time someone called out this whole backup plan mentality? Because what happened next, let's just say she didn't take it well. Update 1. Holy crap, Reddit. The entitlement levels have reached heights I didn't think were humanly possible. First, thanks for all the support on my original post. Reading your comments helped me realize I wasn't crazy for being hurt by the safety net thing. Though I will admit, some of you calling me a legend made me feel a bit guilty. Maybe I was being petty, but then I remember what she said about me, and that guilt fades pretty quick. Let me address the lock situation since people asked. Yes, it is completely legal where I live. She was never on the lease, technically been a month-to-month guest. I gave her official 30-day notice via certified mail the day after the party. All documented, all legal. So the morning after the party, Madison showed up at my apartment with her sister Emma and 3 friends. Full squad, like they were going to intimidate me or something. I was expecting this, so I conveniently wasn't home. Crashed at Jake's place. But I had installed a security camera 2 days before the party knew this would happen. The footage is absolutely wild. You guys, Madison trying her key, getting frustrated, then starting to lose it, kicking the door, yelling about toxic behavior and emotional manipulation. Emma tried to jimmy the window while the friends just stood there looking uncomfortable. One friend suggested calling the cops, but Madison shut that down real quick. Guess she remembered she is not actually on the lease. Then came the text avalanche. 143 messages in 8 hours. The progression was actually fascinating to watch in a terrifying way. The first 25 messages were pure anger. She was calling me every horrible name she could think of. Then the next 35 were bargaining phase. "We can work this out, and you misunderstood, and Ashley was lying." After that came 40 messages of pure manipulation. "I have nowhere to go, and you are making me homeless. And what about everything I did for you?" Then 28 messages of threats. Legal action for what exactly? Telling my boss, telling them what exactly, ruining my life, which I am not sure how she planned to do that. The final 15 messages were love bombing. Old photos of us, remember when we were happy, and we were so good together. I responded exactly once. "You have 23 days to collect your belongings. Schedule a time. Bring a witness." But here is where it gets really interesting. Connor, the mentor, had the absolute audacity to message me. This guy told me I handled things poorly and should have been a gentleman about the breakup, said I ruined a beautiful woman's special day. I replied with screenshots of Madison texting him at 2 a.m. while lying next to me in bed. Messages like "cannot wait to see you tomorrow" with a kiss emoji and "Ryan's asleep. Call me," his response. That is taken out of context. My dude, what context makes that? Okay, he blocked me after that. Then Madison's mom, Linda, called my mother. They would met twice in 2 years, but suddenly Linda needed to inform her what a disgraceful son she had raised. My mom, bless her heart, listened politely, then said, "Sounds like Ryan finally grew a backbone. Good for him," and hung up. The best part. Madison works in social media marketing at this trendy agency that is all about brand reputation and authentic engagement. Well, guess who was at the birthday party? Her boss and 2 coworkers. They saw everything. According to a mutual friend, Madison called in sick for 3 days after the party. When she finally showed up, She acted like nothing happened, but everyone knew. Her boss apparently had a conversation with her about maintaining professional standards, even in personal situations. Oh, and remember that marketing course I paid for? She never finished it. Dropped out after 2 weeks but didn't tell me. I had been paying for nothing for 4 months while she pretended to study. Found this out when I called asking for a partial refund. Couldn't get one, but worth a shot. Yesterday she tried a new approach, sent her friend Sophia to my gym. Sophia coincidentally ended up on the treadmill next to mine. "You know, Madison's really struggling," she said. All casual like. "She has been sleeping on my couch. Could barely afford groceries yesterday." "There are plenty of jobs hiring," I said, putting my earbuds back in. "You are seriously going to let her struggle like this? She has got 16 days to figure it out. Same as any other adult." Sophia called me heartless and stormed off. And you know what? Maybe I am being a little heartless. But I cannot keep being everyone's safety net. Last night, Madison tried something that my therapist calls the extinction burst. Apparently, that is when someone panics and tries every manipulation tactic at once. She created a GoFundMe titled "Help a Young Woman Start Over." The description was more subtle this time, talked about unexpected life changes and rebuilding after a difficult breakup. Smart enough not to directly accuse me of abuse. She raised $125 from her aunt and a few college friends who didn't know the full story. But the comment section didn't go her way because Michael, her coworker who was at the party, commented, "Wasn't this the birthday party situation? Hope you are learning from this experience." She deleted the whole thing within 4 hours. As I am writing this, I just got a text from an unknown number. It is Madison using her friend's phone. "Can we please just talk? I will apologize for everything if you help me figure this out." For a moment, I actually considered it. Maybe I was being too harsh, but then I remembered that TikTok, that laugh when she talked about me buying her a house while she lived her best life. My response: "The apartment lease ends your responsibility in 16 days. After that, we have nothing to discuss." Then I blocked that number too. 16 days left on her move-out deadline. Something tells me this is going to get more intense before it is over. But honestly, as guilty as I sometimes feel, watching someone face the consequences of treating people like backup plans is teaching me about standing up for myself. Update 2. Remember how I said Madison had 16 days left? Well, she decided to speed things up in the most unhinged way possible. First, she tried to get into my apartment at 2 a.m. on a Wednesday. I woke up to my security camera sending alerts someone was trying to force the door. The footage shows Madison trying to pry at the door frame with what looks like a screwdriver, getting increasingly frustrated. She wasn't narrating like some cartoon villain, but you could see her getting more and more agitated as nothing worked. The neighbors called the cops. I woke up to police knocking, thinking someone was trying to rob the place. I showed them the lease with only my name on it, the certified eviction notice, and the camera footage. The officer looked tired, like he had seen this kind of thing before. "Madam, you cannot attempt forced entry even if you used to live here. You need to follow the eviction timeline or this becomes a criminal matter." She broke down crying about being thrown out of her own home, but when they asked to see any proof she lived there legally, she couldn't provide anything. They told her to follow the eviction notice or face arrest. She left, but I could see her texting furiously as she walked away. The next day, I get a call from my bank. Someone tried to access my account claiming to be me. They had my social security number, my birthday, even my mother's maiden name. Madison knew all this. But they didn't have the answer to my security question. "What was your first pet's name?" I had told Madison it was Buddy. It was actually Mr. Whiskers. Always lie about security questions. People. The bank flagged it as attempted fraud. I filed a police report and added extra security to everything. My hands were actually shaking as I filled out the paperwork. This was escalating way beyond what I had expected. Then came what I can only describe as a last-ditch negotiation attempt. Madison's mom, Linda, called again, but this time she wanted to find a solution that works for everyone. "Ryan, let's be adults here. Madison made mistakes, but this is getting out of hand. Cannot you help her transition more gradually? She called me her safety net for 2 years. Linda, that was just girl talk. You know how women vent to their friends, so you will help her transition then? Well, what if we split the cost? I will contribute some money if you help with her security deposit somewhere. I was actually tempted for a second. Maybe this could all just go away quietly. But then I realized this was exactly the same pattern. Everyone expecting me to be the one who solves Madison's problems. She has 18 days to figure it out. I am not negotiating. Linda hung up on me. The peak drama came last Friday. I get home from work, and there is a moving van outside my building. Madison's standing there with two guys who looked like they would rather be anywhere else. "We are here for her belongings," one of them said, showing me a work order. "What belongings?" Madison stepped forward. "My furniture. The things I picked out and lived with for 2 years." "You mean the furniture I bought with my credit card? That has receipts with my name on them? I chose everything. I arranged everything. That makes it mine too." One of the movers looked uncomfortable. "Lady, if his name's on all the receipts and the lease, just do what I am paying you for," Madison snapped, and I could see the stress cracks showing. I called the cops again, showed them receipts for everything: couch, television, bed, even the coffee maker she was trying to claim. Police told the movers they couldn't take anything without proof of ownership. "The guys apologized to me," said Madison had told them it was a messy breakup and her ex was keeping her stuff. As they are driving away, Madison finally lost it completely. "You are destroying my life," she screamed. And for the first time, I saw real panic in her eyes, not just anger. I have nowhere to go, nothing, and honestly, for a moment, I felt terrible. Watching someone completely fall apart, even someone who had hurt you, isn't satisfying the way you think it will be. But then Connor pulled up in his BMW. "Come on, babe," he said, putting his arm around her. "Let's get out of here. They are official now." Been posting couple photos with captions like "finally found my person," and sometimes you have to go through the wrong one to find the right one. Here is the thing though, through Jake's girlfriend who knows people, I found out Connor's not exactly the prize Madison thinks he is. The BMW is leased, and he is behind on payments. His entrepreneurship is selling essential oils. His investment success is mostly social media bragging about crypto purchases that have tanked. Meanwhile, Madison's work situation got worse. The attempted break-in during work hours, plus showing up with a moving van during her shift, was the final straw for her boss. She got encouraged to pursue other opportunities. She is now unemployed, living with Connor, and according to the grapevine, it is not going smoothly. 18 days left on the eviction notice, but she is officially moved out, still threatening legal action through her cousin, who keeps sending me letters that my actual lawyer says have no legal basis. But here is the part that really got to me. Remember that $25 book about finding your authentic self that I gave her for her birthday? She posted it on her Instagram story. "Sometimes the universe sends you exactly what you need to hear." Grateful for this reminder about staying true to myself. And I just sat there staring at my phone thinking, does she really not get it? Does she genuinely not understand that I broke up with her at her own party? The level of cognitive disconnect is honestly concerning. Maybe I am being too harsh. Maybe I should feel worse about how this all went down. But every time I start feeling guilty, I remember that TikTok, that laugh when she talked about me buying her a house while she lived her best life. You cannot treat people like backup plans and expect them to keep catching you when you fall. Final update, it is done. Reddit. Finally, completely, beautifully done. The last 18 days of Madison's eviction period ended quietly. She had moved everything to Connor's place and just sent Sophia to grab some remaining toiletries and clothes. Sophia tried one last guilt trip about how devastated Madison was, but I just helped load the boxes in silence. Sometimes silence really is the most powerful response. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. The real ending came 3 weeks later, and it is more satisfying than I could have imagined. I get a call from an unknown number. It is Connor's roommate, Tyler. "Ryan, you don't know me, but I live with Connor and... Dude, you need to know what has been happening." Apparently, Madison had been telling Connor that I was stalking her, harassing her, trying to win her back. She was using this fake drama to get sympathy and create this narrative where she was the victim fleeing an obsessive ex. She even showed Tyler and Connor fabricated text conversations. Tyler got suspicious because some of the timestamps didn't make sense, and he realized she was screenshotting conversations with herself using a second phone. But the real kicker? Tyler caught Madison on their security camera sneaking out at night during times she claimed to be hiding from my harassment. She wasn't hiding, she was meeting other guys, including Connor's coworker from his sales job. Tyler showed Connor everything. Connor confronted Madison, and she tried to flip it, saying Tyler was jealous of their relationship and trying to break them up. Connor might have believed her if Tyler hadn't also shown him Madison's dating app conversations on Connor's iPad. She had been active on 3 different apps while living with him, telling multiple guys she was basically single and just waiting for the right moment to leave. Connor kicked her out that same night. Tyler felt bad about it happening so suddenly, but said Connor was done being manipulated. Here is where Madison reached peak delusion. She called me, at almost midnight. "Ryan, I need your help." I couldn't believe what I was hearing, Madison. "I am outside Connor's apartment. We had a fight. I need somewhere to stay tonight." The audacity was breathtaking. "Madison, we broke up. You called me your safety net. You tried to break into my apartment. That was all just. I was scared and upset. You embarrassed me in front of everyone I care about. He is being unreasonable, but we can fix this. You and me. We were good together before everything got complicated." I actually laughed. "No, Madison, this isn't my problem anymore. Where am I supposed to go? You are 27 years old. Figure it out." She hung up and immediately posted on social media about toxic people who will not let you grow and move on. Several people who knew the real story called her out in the comments. She deleted the post, and from what I can tell, most of her social media presence. Last I heard, she moved back to her hometown to live with her parents, working at her uncle's real estate office doing administrative work. Linda apparently tells anyone who will listen that I manipulated her daughter and turned everyone against her. But the people who matter know the truth. Madison's coworker Michael reached out a few weeks ago. He told me Madison had apparently been giving advice to younger women in the office about keeping your options open and dating strategically. He said watching her get called out publicly was a wake-up call for some of the other women who had been following her advice. As for me, I am doing really well. Started dating Sarah from my climbing gym about 6 weeks after everything settled down. She actually knew about the birthday party situation. Word travels in a small city and told me on our first date, "Just so you know, you are nobody's backup plan with me." Also, that party thing was legendary. We are taking things slow, but it is healthy and honest. She pays for her own stuff, doesn't have mysterious mentors, and when she says she is somewhere, she is actually there. It is peaceful. It is genuine. It is everything my relationship with Madison never was. Madison tried to contact me one last time about a month ago. "I hope you are happy. You destroyed everything good in my life over one stupid comment." My response: "You destroyed your own life. I just stopped preventing the consequences." Then I blocked her permanently.